Hello, Aldersgate class. I hope this finds you all well and coping as well as can be expected in the current pandemic state. This is August 2nd of 2020. I have no idea how many weeks we have been doing Sunday school in this manner, but it doesn't look like there is relief soon in sight. For that reason, I decided not to do a lesson using the lectionary. I wanted to find a study that I thought would bring a new vision of life into our daily lives. So I chose the book of Ruth, and the person I will be concentrating on in this study is Naomi, because it is the book of Ruth, and yes, Ruth is a heroine, but the real hero of the story, in my opinion, is Naomi. So we will begin by reading sections of it, and I will talk to you about how I see Naomi as the real leader in each one of these sections. So we'll start at the very beginning. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem in Judah went to live in the country of Moab, he and his wife and 2 sons. The name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi, and the names of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion. They were Ephrathites from Bethlehem in Judah. They went into the country of Moab and remained there. But Elimelech, the husband of Naomi, died, and she was left with her 2 sons. These took Moabite wives. The name of one was Orpah, and the name of the other Ruth. When they had lived there for about 10 years, both Mahlon and Chilion also died, so that the woman was left without her 2 sons or her husband. This is a map that shows you where exactly Moab is in relation to Bethlehem in Judah. And Naomi finds herself there, a widow, with both of her sons dead. So she is completely alone except for her 2 daughters-in-law, and both of those 2 women are Moabites. So she is a foreigner in a strange land, and her daughters-in-law, if they move away with her, will be foreigners in a strange land. So she is really in a difficult situation, trying to figure out what is the best move. A woman back then was simply property. And when the husband died, she had nothing unless something was specifically left to her. But see, Naomi is a foreigner in a strange land. So she really has nothing. So she has to figure out what she needs to do. So she decides that she will go back to Bethlehem, where she is from. She has heard that the famine is no longer present there, and that she might be able to make it because she has family there. And her 2 daughters-in-law, Orpah and Ruth, decide to come with her. But as she keeps moving along, she turns to them and says, really, there's nothing for you there. So why don't you just go back to your own people? It's okay. Find yourself a Moabite husband and continue on with your life. You owe me nothing. So Orpah gives her a kiss and leaves. Then the story continues. So she said, she's speaking to Ruth. So she said, "See, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and to her gods. Return as your sister-in-law." But Ruth said, "Do not press me to leave you or to turn back from following you. Where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die. There will I be buried. May the Lord do thus as to me, and more as well, if even death parts me from you." When Naomi saw that she was determined to go with her, she said no more to her. So the two of them travel on. What is amazing to me about Ruth's dedication to Naomi is how very much she loves her. They do both have in common the love of Naomi's son and Ruth's husband. But Ruth is able and willing to give up everything in order to support Naomi in her journey home. And Naomi is old and tired and not certain of what she will discover there. But the love that Ruth displays to Naomi in this statement is unusual, particularly in today's day and age, when the mother-in-law jokes are rampant and mothers-in-law are often seen as the scourge upon an in-law's back. So Ruth's dedication to Naomi speaks very highly of her. And it takes me back to my own dedication to my mother-in-law. I love Jim's mother with all my heart. And even though we were very different people, I was devoted to her to the very end. And how fortunate we are when we have those types of relationships. So let's continue. When they came to Bethlehem, the whole town was stirred because of them. And the women said, "Is this Naomi?" She said to them, "Call me no longer Naomi. Call me Mara. For the Almighty has dealt bitterly with me. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty. Why call me Naomi when the Lord has dealt harshly with me and the Almighty has brought calamity upon me?" Naomi decides that she must change her name because Naomi in Hebrew means pleasantness or all that is pleasant, and changed it to Mara, which means bitter, because she is viewing her life as coming upon a bitter ending. The women aren't sure if this is actually Naomi, because when she returns, she is tired and lined. Her face is lined and dragging. She doesn't look like the full woman that she was. So she returns and says, "Yes, this is me. I look nothing like the person who left you. I am empty. I have nothing more to share with you. And I will take this name, Mara, meaning bitter, because my life has become a calamity." And Naomi is wondering, why has God brought her into this particular state of being? So we continue. Now, Naomi had a kinsman on her husband's side, a prominent rich man of the family of Elimelech, whose name was Boaz. And Ruth, the Moabite, said to Naomi, "Let me go to the field and glean among the ears of grain behind someone in whose sight I may find favor." She said to her, "Go, my daughter." So she went. She came and gleaned in the field behind the field belonging to Boaz, who was of the family of Elimelech. Now, see, she doesn't know where she is, and she knows nothing about Boaz. She is just gleaning, which is a part of the Jewish law that people must leave the gleanings of the crops on the sides of the fields, so that those who have nothing can come and gather what is left over in order to survive. So then, just then, Boaz came from Bethlehem. He said to the reapers, "To whom does this young woman belong?" The servant who was in charge of the reapers answered, "She is the Moabite who came back with Naomi from the country of Moab." She said, "Please let me glean and gather among the sheaves behind the reapers." So she came, and she has been on her feet from early this morning until now, without resting even for a moment. Now, Ruth is devoted to Naomi. Naomi has inspired in Ruth such a sense of loyalty that she is willing to work in these fields, gathering whatever she can get. And again, this speaks so highly of Naomi. It speaks very highly of Ruth. But the fact that a young woman is willing to be in a strange land and is working so hard simply to provide for her mother-in-law speaks just triple fold of the love she has for Naomi and the love that Naomi has engendered in her. Now remember, Naomi is the elder, and that's one of the things I think is so important to all of us now as we face these times of challenge. As the elders, we are motivators to the young through our love and our devotion to them. And we have no idea what type of loyalty and faithfulness we have inspired in those who have been a part of our life. So have faith that there are those coming behind you that believe in you and believe in the God that you believe in. Then Boaz said to Ruth, "Now listen, my daughter, do not go to glean in another field or leave this one, but keep close to my young women. Keep your eyes on the field that is being reaped and follow behind them. I have ordered the young men not to bother you. If you get thirsty, go to the vessels and drink from what the young men have drawn." Then she fell prostrate with her face to the ground and said to him, "Why have I found favor in your sight, that you should take notice of me when I am a foreigner?" So Moab comes to Ruth because he knows who she is. He knows who she is with, and he understands her devotion to Naomi. But Boaz answered her, "All that you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband has been fully told me, and how you left your father and your mother and your native land and came to a people that you did not know before. May the Lord reward you for your deeds, and may you have a full reward from the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come for refuge." Then she said, "May I continue to find favor in your sight, my Lord, for you have comforted me and spoken kindly to your servant, even though I am not one of your servants." The dedication that Boaz's protection engenders in Ruth is again tremendous. And he is offering this to her because she has shown such devotion to Naomi. She has been willing to leave the comfort of her own home and come as a refugee into this new land in order to serve her mother-in-law. And this obviously has made an impression with Boaz. So Naomi hears that Ruth has found favor with Boaz, and she recommends that Ruth go at the end of the threshing festival, go in the evening, and basically seduce Boaz, because she thinks that Boaz may find favor with Ruth, and Boaz is an elderly bachelor. So she went down to the threshing floor and did just as her mother-in-law had instructed her. When Boaz had eaten and drunk, and he was in a contented mood, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of grain. Then she came quietly and uncovered his feet and lay down. Now, to uncover his feet is a euphemism for exposing his genitals. So that's an interesting move. At midnight, the man was startled and turned over, and there, lying at his feet, was a woman. He said, "Who are you?" And she answered, "I am Ruth, your servant. Spread your cloak over your servant, for you are next of kin." Now, to spread your cloak is an invitation to marriage. So basically, what Ruth is doing is she is laying there exposed to Boaz and asking him to marry her. He said, "May you be blessed by the Lord, my daughter. This last instance of your loyalty is better than the first. You have not gone after young men, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, do not be afraid. I will do for you all that you ask, for all the assembly of my people know that you are a worthy woman." So you see, Ruth comes in and is completely vulnerable to Boaz, but then asks him to marry her, and he is overwhelmed by her sense of devotion and her willingness to be a servant of God. The story ends with Boaz going to speak to all the elders of the community, allowing them to purchase the land that belongs to Naomi, knowing that if one of them purchases that land, that they will have to marry Ruth. But he tells them, if you choose not to do that, I will purchase the land because I want to marry Ruth. And that is what happens. So it becomes a marriage of goodwill, a marriage of loyalty, a marriage of faith, and all in an effort of demonstrating their belief in Naomi as the matron of the family. And I just can't imagine what type of a woman Naomi must have been. It's important to remember, too, that Boaz was taking Ruth in as a Moabite, as a refugee, a foreigner who worshiped different gods. So there was a lot of faith that he showed in Ruth, that she was going to be able to become a part of her life. And this story, to me, is such a beautiful story of faith, friendship, the faith of family, the devotion of family, and the flexibility of love within family. And for that, I give thanks to God. Naomi changes her name from Mara back to Naomi. Ruth has a baby named Obed, and Obed is one of the descendants of David. And of course, it is David's family that leads to Jesus. Now we will listen to a hymn written by David Haas entitled Deep Within.
Deep within, I will plant my love, not on stone, but in your heart. Follow me, I will bring you back. You will be my own, and I will be your God.
I will give you a new heart, a new spirit within you, for I will be your strength. Deep within, I will plant my love, not on stone, but in your heart. Follow me, I will bring you back. You will be my own, and I will be your God. be my own, and I will be your
The line I love so much in this hymn is, I will bring you back, you will be my own, and I will be your God. So this is the God that watches over Naomi, Ruth, and Boaz, and continues to watch over each one of us as we continue on this journey of faith, no matter how difficult that journey is, no matter what trials we face on a daily basis. Now let us pray. May you be like your godly forebears. May you be part of something bigger than your life. May you be like Ruth, the courageous one, who loves abundantly and clings to God. May you be like Boaz, a person of integrity, obeying God's law, even in the secret places. May you be like Naomi, loved despite your failings and hurts, overwhelmed by God's unexpected blessings. May you know God the provider who feeds his people. May you know Jesus who loved you and redeemed you and took you as his own, even when you were a poor foreigner, helpless and dependent. May you know the whisper of the Spirit as he directs your life in ways that you are barely aware of. May you know God, the Trinity, who reverses all our expectations, who raises up the poor and vulnerable, whose ways are not our ways, and who gives us grace upon grace. May the fingerprints of God be all over your life. May his authorship be evident in your story. Amen and amen. And may you always remember that every day of your life, no matter where you are, no matter how separated you are from those you love, you are a part of them and they are a part of you. As family, as believers, as servants of God. Now, this next hymn is entitled Shepherd Me, O God. It's by Marty Hagan, and I think that if we believe in God's ability to shepherd us through these difficult times, that we will continue to be shepherded, to be loved, and to continue on in spite of whatever difficulties we face. May God be with all of you this coming week. Know that I love each one of you, and I continue to pray for you.
I wrote this up at Holden Village when our family was there for a year. And in the wintertime, they have all this snow, 8 or 9 feet of snow, and every night they have Vespers. And there's nothing to do afterwards, so everyone stays around and critiques evening prayer. It's a congregation that sticks around. So this is a setting I wrote, and they critiqued it. I did about 3 or 4 settings, and this one got the least criticism.
Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears. from death into life. God is my shepherd, so nothing shall I want. I rest in the meadows of faithfulness and love. I walk by the quiet waters of peace. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Gently you raise me and heal my weary soul. You lead me by pathways of righteousness and truth. My spirit shall sing the music of your name. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Though I should wander the valley of death, I fear no evil, for you are at my side. Your rod and your staff, my comfort and my hope. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. You have set me a banquet of love in the face of hatred, crowning me with love beyond my power to hold. Shepherd me, O God, beyond my wants, beyond my fears, from death into life. Surely your kindness and mercy follow me all the days of my life. I will dwell in the house of my God